of the rules for next time, because I think what we did today, while we didn't do a lot of combat or stuff like that, I had a ton of fun. Thank you guys so much for playing. Um,
Can I ask
but
a question?
yes,
Just leading in plan for next time.
yeah.
Is there any reason we think that their transport out to the plains might get targeted by the pirates who have been targeting the food shipments? We're thinking about leads for next time. 'Cause then we should probably just all go with.
Is
I like the way
Liza
she thinks.
is Liza intentionally trying to drag him out to the plains for that event? Maybe she knows more about this than we think.
Is this like a Colwyn assassination attempt on Gallagher? They're like trying to get rid of Gallagher entirely? We're planting all kinds of ideas in Jared's head. Like, that's not what I was thinking, but I
You
like
guys are
it.
the best teammates ever. Thank you so much.
I mean, I've got a
Anyway,
real good plan, but what you guys brought up are fantastic ideas too. So not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Because I mean, we did already establish that your guild house is already linked to the underground somehow, right? We haven't explained how, just that it's linked somewhere. So that could be a really fun thing to go out. Like maybe they're linked to Skiro for some reason, considering now that there's two characters that are now indubitably linked with Skiro. Honestly, at this point, Regina might end up working for them pretty soon too. So, all right, perfect. All right, let's talk about experience points real quick. All right, did you participate in the session? Boom, everyone gets one for that. Did you fulfill any codes of chivalry? Did you defend the innocent? Did you express courtly love? Or did you do something daring? I think we got a couple good courtly love for sure. For Ruxton gets one for that. Uh, if you guys jump in or anything else, just let me know.
I mean,
Um,
Bartok, you definitely were. You didn't like do the duel, but you were certainly like part of that, right? That world.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily face him down. We'll see what happens next time. There might be something daring next time
I
with
think
that. We'll
that's
see how it goes.
probably yeah. I think next time we're gonna do a lot more daring stuff. That's it. It's yeah, good food for thought there.
I was
Did
2 seconds away from being like, "Who's your second?" Because I'm his second. Let's go. But I was like, "What's he want to do?"
I literally wrote out rules for dueling today about the protocol and the order that you do things in, about getting your second and all that stuff. So yes,
Yeah, I was ready.
We'll
that
use those rules soon, I think. Yeah.
okay. Did you bond with another character? One experience point for each character that you bonded with. Um, this session, more than any other session that we've done, I think really showcased a lot of fun, interesting things on here. So you get 1 point for each other character that you bonded with or talked with, interacted in a meaningful way. So, yeah, tell me who you bonded with, and you get a point for them. And like, if you remember exactly, 'cause I think you guys did great.
I definitely bonded with Nephelina because I was trying to get her to help me with my girl problems.
Yep.
And Bartok and I sort of accidentally bonded when we both realized that we owed debts to the same crime lords. But I don't think it counts as a bonding. You're like, oh shit, we're both in
Oh,
it. And I was like, hey, if you're gonna fight these guys, I'll fight these fucking guys with you. Let's do it. Right?
yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. And so then, just by reciprocity, I think that gets Nephelina one on there. Now, I don't know if Bartok and Nephelina bonded this session, but I know it was last session. Did you guys get a point for that? I don't know if we had written that
I
up
don't
yet.
think we XP'd that.
Yeah, I don't
I
think we
don't think we
explained it.
did.
Okay, so Nephelina get 2 experience points for that as well. Bartok, uh, did you and Nephelina bond? Oh yeah, because we're counting last session. Yeah, you get 2 too. Yeah, for sure. Got it. Dirt. Sorry. So yeah, everyone gets 2 more for that. Now, did you cultivate your culture at all? Eric did for sure, because the how Zui become betrothed. Uh, Fascinating, very much wild animal sort of thing. We'll have to build off. Maybe Zui are a little bit more savage than I had envisioned in my head, which I think is an
I just
interesting thing.
sort of old fashioned in their courting, but everything else is pretty high tech.
I
So
really like that. So then, like, you have old married couples, right, with like missing an ear, and they're like,
yeah,
oh, remember when that?
fight their way back to civilization.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? It works though. You know,
I like that a lot. Uh, did Bartok or Nephelina really build on their culture at all? Okay. And then, so that's it. So that's all your experience points. Now, the new thing that we're working on is, did you introduce your personal saga? So Bartok, you get to choose from the personal saga reward list because you definitely did by having Zane show up. So you get to choose right now. Do you want to gain 1 health, 1 honor, an ally with a skill of 3, or do you want to gain 2 jewels? Now, narratively, you'll have to explain how you got those 2 jewels, but
I'm going to take the honor point. Yeah, I'm by facing him down, I think I'm going to sort of step back up to something, a really nasty mess I left behind.
love it. Okay. Now, Ruxton, by proxy, you brought it up yourself of your personal honor by bonding with Nephelina, but we didn't have it complicate the session, but you did bring it up, right? And that's something that I didn't clarify. So next time, if we want to bring up and use our personal saga stuff, it has to complicate the scene that we're in. If you want to get the thing, right? But I am more than
sure.
happy because we're still working on the system. Do you want to gain 1 health, 1 honor, gain an ally of skill 3, or 2 jewels?
Let's wait. Then let me do it next time. I only brought it up because it made sense in the story to say this is what we're going into. So let me
Okay.
complicate it next time. Is that okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Perfect. And then Nephelina, I don't think we brought in anything from your past or history. Okay, great. And that's how we wrap up a session. Um, it's getting pretty late. I do want to ask this one last thing. Again, thank you so much for playing. I think this was a lot of fun tonight, if nothing else. That was awesome. What worked for you guys tonight? I know it's so hard to ask this after we just got done playing, but I'm so used to doing like a post-mortem on adventures. Like we only did like 2 scenes, and 1 scene was kind of a half scene. Because the curio shop, there wasn't a lot that you felt like you could do in there, you know?
I'm always a fan of the role playing, and we got to do a bunch of that tonight. And it all leads to something that's going to lead to action. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like horseshit stuff you're bullshitting about. Like it's all stuff that's going to cause us to have very real consequences later, and we sort of able to like get that out and bond at the same time. Like I think that's what you got to do, right? Like that's best case scenario. So I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I love what you said there, that the drama of do the role playing is leading to stuff that is also narratively exciting and different, and also mechanically is gonna be a whole shit show, hopefully.
it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be a real shit show. Yeah.
Maybe I'll push the action a little bit more because but yeah, I'll write this up and send it out to everyone. Again, unless does anyone else have anything else they want to say?
Yeah, no, I appreciated you asking me to describe a piece of how I knew there'd been a shootout. I have no idea how to know what a shootout would have looked like post. So thank you for that. I appreciate being pushed on that. And thank you for so that was good. I kind of like that. I wonder if there's space for us to ask that of each other from time to time as well, without it sort of breaking things down too much. Like when there's something cool, because there were a couple places where I was like, I'd like to hear more about that, but I don't want to break into the scene. So maybe some thoughts about what might be a good way to sort of tag in or ask that question, or maybe we don't want to do that, and that's okay too. And thanks for letting me switch up which house I was hunted by versus owe money to. So I think this
Yeah.
makes it is much messier this way.
Yeah, I totally had it figured out for the being bought. I had that all figured out. And then he changes to that. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I gotta do something different. That's just fine. I love it
Okay,
too.
yeah,
Uh,
thanks for letting me do that. Yeah, I appreciate it.
yeah, it makes it so much harder and gross and weird to try to do it. I think it's great. I love it. The yes, the thing I'm trying to introduce is that every time there's a new scene set, I want to be able to ask you guys some sort of description that you can put in there. Um, and because there was only two official scenes, I didn't even think to do it like out on the street. Like maybe I should have set that as like, okay, this is a new scene when you guys are on the street. Like I should have asked, how do you guys know that everyone else knows that Zane is a dangerous person? Like that would have been a fun little thing. You guys could have been like, oh, well, they know it because of this, and just kind of describe a little bit more, you know. So that's something on my end. That's a good idea. Like just when I start a scene, I have to mentally know, like, okay, ask a question for them to describe. For you saying like, hey, can you guys help me out to give a look on the scene? Um, how do you think we can do that mechanically that doesn't feel like breaking into the scene like you said? Because I think though, like if you were in a scene and you have that question, I think other people will have that question too, right?
I like the idea of inviting other people in rather than slowing someone else's motion. I like that, where that would be sort of the rules. You can invite in rather than interrupting. I like that.
Invite
Makes it a lot
like
cleaner.
scene description.
Rachel, what
In
are your thoughts on that? Is that too much? Is it not something you want to do? What are your thoughts?
It's it's kind of weird. Like when we had like adversaries, we had to like describe like a strength or a weakness with them. You
yeah,
know, and it's like I much rather that somebody else brings up that detail instead of me in that scene. So I think it makes a lot of sense to bring somebody else in. If there's a mechanic way to do it, so you don't like, so it's not unbalanced, right? Like that's what you have to figure out.
like if you like I would say like, well, did they get like maybe a saga point for helping out for a description? But then everyone would just always invite people in, you know? It's
Right,
like
right. They're purple. Yeah, like
right.
every time. Like I
I mean,
love the idea of like something, but I'm not sure. Yeah, how do you balance it? I don't know.
yeah. There doesn't have to be a physical reward. It would be nice. Um, like maybe a trinket gets exchanged, or I don't know about that either. But because it
Or
feels
just
like
something that
it's
something you award at the end of the game. You'd be like, I think the best description that somebody added in goes to this character, and you get a trinket or something. You know what I mean? Like we could get something at the end, but that's not why we're doing it. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
a fun flavor that we're adding to it. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It is fun, I think, because I really like this part of this game is that we're all describing how we're moving through it and what it looks like. And like, I definitely leaned a lot harder on the Old West in this part of the country that you're in, you know. And I think that kind of like the slug throwers combined with the AI one shot guns with the slingshots, like this is a bonkers like it's it's neat. All these things exist in the same world, you know. And I love how it's all like outdated. It's like this whole town now is like kind of time has kind of forgotten it, you know, maybe since the company wars, and I like that feel to it. It's super cool. So yeah, I think for right now, no mechanical thing, but I will remind people next time we get together is like, yeah, invite people in for descriptions. All right. That's awesome. Great work, everyone. I really do appreciate it. I had so much fun with this one. We'll keep working on it, although I need to start working more on the campaign, the guild house stuff, but this is all part of it too, right? This feels really good. We can write it up. I can show other people, like, hey, here's some stuff that we changed that feels and is a lot of fun. So, all right. Thank you guys so much and have a great night.
See you
Thanks.
guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks.
So good.